Welcome to the Speedway Show. I'm Glenn Lawless and we're crossing to Heartland Raceway where we've got the A main for the sprint car feature. So let's cross now to Brett Swanson, who's calling all the action.
Alright, race fans, with the lateness of the hour, the top 6 Stars Dash not being run, so we're straight into our 30-lap A-Main courtesy Eureka Garages and Sheds. Domain Ramsey and Grant Anderson lead them around to the green. Anderson was actually the highest point scorer, but elected to start on the front row, and right there you can see he's becoming like Homer Simpson. Oh, didn't quite work. His strategy of taking the outside, of course, pole sitter gets to elect inside or outside. He thought the outside was going to be the better run, but Domain Ramsey got a great start, got a better start, and immediately off there into the lead with Anderson in second place, trying his damnedest to do whatever he can to get up to that front position, but I'm pretty sure it'll only be a little while before Anderson will get through. As we see drama already, it's Rusty Hickman in the 40 coming to a stop on the racetrack. So we'll go yellow to remove the young fella, and we get the race restarted. Ramsey leading from Grant Anderson. Ramsey told me before the start of the night, just going to pick and choose some shows, just wanted to enjoy his racing instead of the pressure of chasing a series and chasing points. Jake Smith back there in third, Glenn Sutherland in fourth also, and Ramsey getting the start once again, goes for the higher line. Look at Anderson up the inside. Oh, and look at this, a little bit of contact as they come out of turn 2, and a wild end-for-end ride for Grant Anderson. That one hack situation there. So we go slow-mo replay. Ramsey got a good start, but he elected to go the high line entry into turn number 1. Grant Anderson down on the bottom, the short way round. Carrying the front there is Ando. Ramsey on the way out of 2. Coming down a little bit onto his racing line. Coming out of turn number 2. Anderson's got the car up on the concrete pole line. Hit a little bit of a depression there, unsettled the car, and contact made right front of Anderson on the left rear of Ramsey. Ramsey got a little sideways, hooked up some dirt as well, and there we see Anderson just got sideways as the big old right rear got into the rut. Maybe if that rut wasn't there, he might not have ridden out this wild ride. End for end. Unfortunately not the first time for Grant, but you never want to see this sort of stuff. Hard on the tail. And over again, Glenn Sutherland in the 20 there. Almost into the wall as he's hard on the brakes, trying to make sure he doesn't get caught up in Grant Anderson's wreck, because the last thing he wants to do is slam into the car as it's flipping through the air. Sammy Wren slipping by underneath as the car finally coming back to rest on the right rear. That was a wild ride. Good thing the boys won 10 grand just a fortnight ago, because you're going to need all of that to repair this car. So unfortunately, Grant Anderson won't be adding to his tally of feature race wins at Marama Raceway at Heartland Raceway. Around the restart cone for our race leader. He got a great restart there. Jake was, well, just snoozing a little bit by the look of it. There's Sutherland around Wren. Keith now a lapped car in that particular restart in the lineup. But Ramsey, nice run around the outside. He's found that high line entry to be working well for him. Sutherland on the charge. Jai O'Keefe also very, very quick. He's found a slightly quicker line through 3 and 4, but the man on the charge right now seems to be Glenn Sutherland, very quick. There's David Murcott. Brett Milburn further back there, of course, made the A after starting 14th in the B, so he's on an absolute drive of the night so far after that first heat non-finish. So any points he can get in the defence of his title after the way it started out, he will be very happy with. Look at him trying to work around the outside of McCulloch, I think that was. He just went past. So meanwhile, out front, there's Tim Van Ginniken just blasting past our screens. Smith, here comes Sutherland, big run up the inside in a 3, gets the job done there. Smith tries to come back up the inside as they come out of turn 4, but can't do it. Sutherland on the charge. The SA20, Murcott now moving up towards the back of Jai O'Keefe. So that's the battle for 3rd and 4th. Two-time Aussie champion quickly coming to terms. A little unsettled there on the way out of 4. But Matthew Eastham is one of the better guys at setting up race cars and sprint cars. And this pairing quickly coming to terms. A great working arrangement at this stage. That smoke again starting to come out of Jake Smith 72. Run around the bottom line. Here's a run for Murcott around the outside. Ooh, nearly a bit of contact between those two guys. Smith didn't realise Murcott was around the outside of him. So Murcott now to about 4th place, I think. Still got Jai O'Keefe in front. Glenn Sutherland in front of him, and Domain Ramsey doing a great job leading out front in the Victoria 2. So Murcott fighting through the little ruts and ripples down the bottom end of the racetrack. Van Ginnigan now onto the back of the slightly smoking O'Keefe. There's our race leader, Ramsey, coming through. Sutherland seems to have closed him down a little. And here comes the next pack, the next battle. O'Keefe and Murcott. Murcott up on the infield concrete. Lost some ground coming off there as O'Keefe went the highway around and seemed to be the faster way. Yeah, Murcott definitely lost about 5 or 6 car lengths there. O'Keefe now seems to be actually pulling away from Murcott. Bit of smoke also coming out of the 48 there of Adam King by the look of it. Slightly off the pace is Kingy, our first heat winner. So we see the battle continuing. Murcott just trying to regroup, find that groove again, the one he had before. As we've got trouble here. It's a 78. Chris Campbell, our B main winner, who also won an extra $300 cash courtesy of our promoter Dave Roberts, seeing the way the night had gone. He said, I'll put an extra $300 cash up. Chris Campbell took that. He will need that $300 to effect repairs on that 78 machine. Just had a spin, kept the foot buried into it. The right rear grabbed when he was facing the wrong direction. He just stood the car up on its tail, fell over. So Ramsey, again, leading them away on the restart. Is this going to be a classic victory for Domain Ramsey? We didn't really expect him to figure here this weekend, but have a look at him out front. Man who, as I said before, divides his time between the sprint car and the speed car. Sutherland, though, is very quick there in the SA20. O'Keefe hanging on to 3rd. Murcott challenging. Brett Milburn moving up all the time as well. Look at Sutherland bouncing through the little ripples and ruts down there in 3-4. Doesn't care, doesn't get off the gas, just keeps the foot buried to the firewall. As we saw for a moment there, Murcott getting up close to the back of O'Keefe once again to try and resume that battle. Ramsey's car just seems to be a little settled. Got a nice line in there. He showed Sutherland, the way around, who showed O'Keefe, who showed Murcott. So they're all running a fairly similar entry into turn number 1. Slightly different lines down the bottom end into 3. But Sutherland, on the timesheets, have a look at this, reeling in our race leader, Domain Ramsey. Probably 3 car lengths off the back now, closing into 3. He's more aggressive into 3 on the bottom, no doubt about that, but can't hold the car down there. So Ramsey again maintains that lead, clicking off the laps. O'Keefe still in 3rd, Murcott back there for 4th. As we go back to the front, Ramsey has moved up a little. Sutherland's moved up a little on the entry into turn 3. O'Keefe is close to Sutherland now, so Ramsey's been able to pull a couple of gaps there, a couple of car lengths, but his front nose wing has come adrift. It's nose down. We'll actually be giving him probably a little bit extra aerodynamic downforce, but also will be slowing him just slightly as we see Sutherland now almost right on the tail of Ramsey as they go down the back straight. O'Keefe about 4 car lengths back, and then Murcott right on him. Here's a go for a change for the lead. Sutherland up the inside, couldn't quite get it done there as they go into turn number 1. So Ramsey up on the high line, Sutherland on the mid-track line, almost contact again as they come out of turn number 2, similar to what happened with Ramsey and Anderson earlier on. So our top 4 cars now closed up pretty tight with the lap traffic of Jordan Charger. Keith tried to go up the inside. That's cost him a position as Murcott stayed out wide. It's always easier when you're following the car behind when he zigs, you can zag. So it's now Ramsey, Sutherland, Murcott, O'Keefe. That's our top 4. So laps continue to wind down. Look further back, and I think we've got Brett Milburn there into 5th place after starting about second last in the A main. So what a drive from him deep in the pack. The drive right here though, look at this up the inside. Oh, disaster! Domain Ramsey into the wall and upside down. And I can tell you the reason for that. The left rear actually exploded there as he went up the front straight. We're not sure why. May have run over a bit of debris, but the left rear exploded and turned the car into the wall. And actually, the carcass of the tyre smacked the mate in the arm pretty hard and actually tore his overalls. As Murcott now taking up the run up the inside of Sutherland, who's leading the race. But Sutherland just comes back at him. What a great race. Have a look at these two guys. Both big man on the pedal. They both race very, very hard. O'Keefe back in 3rd place. He'd be ruining that moment when he got caught up behind the lap car. So Sutherland, with only a handful of laps to go, is this going to be his first SRA Sprint Car feature? He's been quick. He's had a 2nd place at Mohammer in an SRA round before. It seems to be a track that really suits his style. Look at the gap he's able to open up on the 2-time national champion. Sutherland, great run here from the Mount Gambier. The gas man from Gambier Earth Movers, the SA20, the black and yellow, looks fantastic. Oh, hits a little bit of a rut there, unsettles the car. Had to get out of it, nearly on the wall, and Murcott through into the lead. Sutherland tries to come straight back at him. Can't get the job done up in 1 and 2. Disaster for Glenn Sutherland. Come back hard, Glenn, into 3-4. Again, the car unsettles a little as Murcott across the line. Sutherland back there in 2nd place, starting to lose a little bit of ground there. Disaster for Glenn for Glenn Sutherland. Thought he was on for his first ever Sprint Car feature win. Right at this stage, doesn't seem to be the case, unfortunately. Murcott, timed to perfection. Just got that beautiful run, powered up the inside of turn number 3 into the lead. Sutherland hanging on for 2nd place. Jai O'Keefe still back there in 3rd. As they're into the lap traffic of Ash Scott. Not sure what happened to Ash, lost a little bit of pace there, but what a win for David Murcott. Bad luck to Glenn Sutherland, and well done to Jai O'Keefe.